Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And numerous people have asked me, Jason, what do you think about this whole SARMageddon thing going on Mark Bell's Super Training channel? What do you think about it? It's a really weak, tiny guy who's doing a bunch of SARMs and documenting it. So I went to go check it out. And I've only checked out a little bit of it, but I already have some opinions on it. So let me go ahead and put on my +5 hat of Speechcraft, lovingly called my +5 hat of autism by many of you, and let's talk about this. All right, guys. What is his name? Andrew Zaragoza. Is that what it is? That's actually a really badass name. I'm not going to lie. The gamer in me, hence +5 hat of Speechcraft, the gamer in me kind of hears that. It's like he sounds like a dragon or something, right? Zaragoza. Yeah, that's a pretty badass name. I guess that's like a Hispanic name. I would want that last name if I was Hispanic. But that aside, that aside, the ridiculousness of some of this, and I guess I'll jump into the whole SARM thing a little bit later, but we're essentially talking about still putting an exogenous substance into your body that can affect your hormone production. It is a drug. SARMs are drugs, right? They are drugs. They are classified as drugs. The FDA, the laws, everything else consider them to be drugs. And they are somewhat regulated. There's been some changes in the laws on them. So here's the point. I watched his training and I went and looked up his meet results, and he actually did a push-pull meet within the last year. In the 181 class, he benched 203. Or is it 204? I believe he bench pressed 204 pounds and had a 303 deadlift. Okay. And he decides to go on this stuff. And I watched only like a little bit of part 6. I'm going to go back and look at some of the others later because I'll probably discuss this further. I'm going to have a lot of opinions on this one. This is going to be one of the ongoing things that I'm going to have commentary on. I probably need to get up to speed on the entire thing. But my initial impressions, it's like, first of all, you need to learn how to eat and you need to learn how to train. This guy has no strength-based build whatsoever. None. And I'm the first person to say, hey, look, if you want to go do some powerlifting meets when you're still weak, there's nothing wrong with that. Jamie Lewis would disagree. He will tell you, and he's written multiple blogs called Powerlifting is Not a Fun Run. But I do disagree with that. I think we need to get further anticipation in strength sports. We need participation. We need people competing. It's a good thing. It's good for the sport. And I don't have a problem with people who are really too weak to be getting on the platform doing it. It's perfectly fine because it's fun. It's a sport I love, and not everyone is going to be good at it. And people who are noobs should still be encouraged, right? And we need to encourage them. And so, I mean, I would look at his numbers, and while a lot of us would say, wow, I can't believe he got on the platform, I'll go out on a limb and say to those who would say that, I don't know, why don't you get your weak ass up on the platform then? Because truth be told, at least he had the balls to get up and compete. It's been filmed. His results are up there. He had the balls to at least get on the platform and compete. So in my opinion, says me, he is a power lifter. That makes him a power lifter. He has shown up and he has competed. He's got on the platform. He's prepped for a meet, got in, done a meet. Doesn't matter that he's weak still. Doesn't matter he's total novice. Total novice numbers. Like, those are numbers that any one of you should be able to hit in your first year in the gym as a healthy young man. Surpass. You should be able to dramatically surpass that in 1 year. But that's besides the point. He is now a power lifter. He has been on the platform in sanctioned competition. He is a real power lifter, right? Just like you're a real bodybuilder the first time you suck dick for growth hormone. Well, you're a real power lifter the first time you get on the platform and compete. And so he is one. My concern... This is a guy who hasn't learned how to eat and train. He hasn't even learned the basics yet. And it's like he's already doing a lot of various auxiliary lifts. And he has no deadlift base, and he's already messing with a trap bar. And look, don't get me wrong, guys. The trap bar is a useful tool, I think particularly for like field athletes and other people. But if you're going to power lift and you don't even have a base yet on the deadlift, you still have numbers you should be able to hit in 6 months is what you're pulling in comp. You need to do more deadlifts and more rows. That's what you need to do, right? Things like that. Same thing as bench, 225 bench. And I watched his bench and it wasn't meet legal. His training number, you get 3 singles of 225 now on the SARMs. That's not even really a meat legal bench. He's struggling to keep his butt on the bench. He's just doing touch and go. Doesn't have his bar path down. Like there's a lot of things that need work there. This is someone who is still building a base. This is someone who's still learning the exercises. And he's jumping on substances that are going to boost strength, going to boost muscle mass. I don't think that's a good idea. That's my opinion on it. This is basically trying to take a shortcut when you don't have the basics covered. He does not have a base yet, right? This guy needs to continue to build his base. That's my opinion. And again, plenty of guys have done what he's done successfully. Look, there are guys out there who started using gear very, very early on, and they learned more about training and got better over time, and they've got phenomenal results, and they've competed at the world level later in various endeavors, who started using different stuff way too soon. And I'm not saying that you can't be successful doing it. What I'm saying is, I feel like when you have people like him, like Andrew here, I'm looking at what he's doing, and he's trying to skip the basics. He just wants to jump straight into getting faster results instead of mastering the basics along the way. And I feel like he hasn't paid his dues in that regard. Has he paid his dues in the sense of he's gotten on the platform and competed? Yeah. I mean, that, all right, fair enough. Right? Once you do a meet, that's it. You're a real power lifter. And it drives people forward. Like, once you do that first meet, a lot of times it does push you forward to excel, and your training does get more focused. And that's kind of the interesting thing when you compete in something. And one reason I do encourage people to compete in things is because it is motivating. It gives you a different motivation. It gives you something to train for, something to train towards. And that will kick you up a notch instead of just training for fun. And it will make you better, and it will help you to excel. It will help you to achieve excellence. But the problem you have here is that he's doing this and he hasn't built a base yet. And he says, "Oh, I struggle to hold on to weight." No, you just don't eat enough, right? That is purely calories in versus calories out. And if you're using an exogenous substance, it's going to put more muscle on you and increase strength, so your work capacity is going to go up, and you struggle to eat enough already. What's going to happen when you come off of this? You're not going to have more muscle. Your energy turnover is going to be higher. I mean, that's a problem. You need to learn how to eat. It's like his training and his diet need work. That's really where he needs to focus, not on things like this yet. And this is the interesting debate we get into with SARMs, isn't it? They're one of those that I'm hopeful towards them, in the sense of, if they can develop substances like this that eventually have zero health consequences, right? If there are minimal side effects and there are no negatives to your health, I will be the first person to say, why wouldn't you get on SARMs? Because people get this stupid idea, well, that's cheating. I'm like, look, you do what you do to be good at what you want to do, right? And I'm going to be the first to tell you that if they make a pill that will increase your IQ by 20 points, everyone who wants a job that's based on their intellect is going to take it. Anyone who wants to be better at anything that requires cognitive ability or processing speed in your brain should probably take it, if it's safe and side effect free. The problem is that so far SARMs haven't been foolproof on this yet. They're not foolproof yet. But you know what? The moment they create a SARM that will give me the exact same muscle growth that a gram of test a week will, assuming I could take comparable amounts, and you don't get a single side effect, right? No problems with your prostate, no problems with whatever suppression going on in your body, no problems with your cholesterol, no negative effects on your heart, nothing like. The moment they make a SARM that does all that and it tests out good with no problems in the body, I'll be the first one eating it by the handful. I'll be the first one pushing it and pimping it. Why? Because we all want to be our best. It's like, kind of like, why do you eat so much meat, Jason? Because meat gives me an advantage. Do you think that has anything to do with training? Do you think me eating meat on my keto diet and eating a couple pounds of meat every day, that's putting an external substance into my body that will help my training, my recovery, my muscle growth, everything else, right? Hands down. Vegans cannot do what meat eaters can do. It's going to piss the vegans off, right? We are putting an external substance into our body that some people question the morality of for a benefit. At that point, it may not be that different, quality meat that's been, enhanced in different ways with selective breeding and science and stuff, but not fully natural. We can argue about that. I don't care about the natural. I care about the fact of, are there health consequences? That's what we care about. So, as SARM technology develops, I'll be very curious to see how it goes. But thus far, my observations of them, I haven't been super impressed yet. I'm open minded. I'm open minded towards it, but I haven't been that impressed yet. I'm still at the point in the game I don't see what they bring to the table that anabolics don't do better in terms of health consequences, results, everything else. I'm still skeptical, and we need to be skeptical of stuff like that. But like I said, the idea is good, and the moment they start creating ones that really and truly work, the way they're intending them to work, I will be on board. Right? I'll be on board 100%. I don't think we're there yet, and therein lies the problem. You have someone who's still risking some health stuff, some side effects, everything else, who doesn't have the basics down. He doesn't have his technique down, doesn't have his strength base down. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I think that's a problem. I think he needs to get that stuff in order first, and he doesn't have it in order yet. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.